Okay. Hi, you guys. Good evening. It's Yaz. Tonight, I'm going to podcast on the art of letting go, okay? Because so many people are dealing with how to let go of somebody that they love or they've become attached to. It could be somebody that you're dating, or it could be somebody that you're in a relationship with, and you're just not feeling that the relationship is fulfilling you or bringing you happiness. And the reason that this topic is so important is because a lot of people, because of quarantine and what's going on with the coronavirus pandemic, is that they're starting to see people for their true colors, right? You see the best of people and you see the worst of people when hard times come. And that's exactly what's going on right now, okay? A lot of people are dealing with people that they dated before the coronavirus, and now they're not hearing from them. That person could have been involved in a relationship and they didn't know, or maybe people are very stressed out and, their relationship is taking a toll, all right? Or maybe they've been dating somebody and they're not giving them, their whole self to them, they're not fully vested. So tonight I want to talk about, what everybody goes through in some point in their life. Practically everybody has gone through a situation where they've had to let go of somebody for some reason, okay? We always want to stay in the comfort zone. When we're with somebody, we may feel comfortable with them, but that doesn't necessarily mean that that relationship is right, okay? Maybe we stay with them because we don't want to be single. And it's okay to be single, but maybe we like things about that person, but there's a lot of things that are bringing us unhappiness, and we have to be realistic about it. You see, the difference between men and women, all right? Like a lot of women have come to me and they've said, why is it so easy for him to walk away and not for me as, a female or a woman? Because number one, like I've said in my other podcasts, men and women are wired differently. Women have more estrogen, okay? And physiologically, we're more emotional because we are bred to be mothers, all right? And more nurturing. So generally, when we begin with relationships, we're more forthright as far as feelings are involved. That's why there's a lot more women that are very sensitive, okay? When, for instance, they don't feel the same kind of love or reciprocation back, whereas men are more, they're more sexual driven, they're more visual initially, okay? Initially, I'm talking about. They're very visual, all right? So when they're first dating someone, generally, and this is not for everybody, but for the majority, generally, their first interest is in the visual, okay? And, how somebody looks and if there's that sexual attraction and that chemistry, all right? And then as they go on and they get to know the person, and if they like the person, then there's other things that the emotional side comes out, all right? But what I'm really talking about tonight is how do you let go of somebody that you're feeling that connection with, all right? But you see that there's things that you just are not gelling together with, all right? So you have to look at the long term. You can't look at the short term, all right? That's why I always say you have to be very careful when you first start dating somebody, and you have to say to yourself, is this somebody that I could have a long-term future with? Or is this just somebody that I enjoy their company, I enjoy the chemistry with them, we have this great connection together, I'm really physically attracted to them. That necessarily is not somebody that has all the characteristics that you need for that long-term relationship, all right? So you want to be careful when you start dating somebody, and make sure that whoever you're dating is somebody that, is mature enough and is invested into the relationship and is showing you consistency. I always say they have to show consistency. They have to make you a priority, all right? And this, of course, I'm talking about, if you're looking for a relationship, not just, friends with benefits or anything like that, which I think is a mistake, all right? But the thing is, we stay in relationships that bring us comfort. We don't want to be alone. We don't want to go back out into the dating world, all right? Because who wants to start over, all right? You have to start over. It's like starting from the drawing board. A lot of people stay in relationships because they feel like, well, I invested so much time in this relationship. I hate to give that up, all right? What you have to think about, all right? You have to think about the pros and the cons in the relationship, all right? You have to put value on what's important and what's not important, all right? It's not just about the physical. It's about whether you enjoy each other's company. How do you get along? How do you communicate, all right? Are there deal breakers? Is this person constantly breaking your boundaries and you're allowing it, all right? And you've put up with it and put up with it and put up with it. But you have to think with your head and not your heart, and you have to let go. You know why you have to let go? Because the only thing worse, okay, than staying in a relationship that is wrong is staying in a relationship that is wrong, and a few years down the road, you end up breaking up with that person, or that person breaks up with you. Now look at where you're at. You could stay with somebody 5-10 years, okay, and just be going nowhere. That the relationship is standing still. You're not moving forward, or you're in a kind of up and down relationship with somebody that you're not feeling fulfilled. And in a matter of time, the relationship's gonna break. It's gonna break if it's not right, all right? So what's important to you? Is it important to you to stay comfortable and stay in the relationship? Or is it important to say, you know what? Time is important to me. Time is what is valuable to me. Not wasting my time. Because as you get older, it gets a little bit harder, all right? Your choice and your selection can be limited. So your time is valuable, okay? There's so many people that are in relationships that break up and look back and say, why did I waste my time with this person? Now I have to start all over again. Maybe they're getting divorced and they're starting all over. Maybe now they have children and they're starting all over, all right? So you have to look at it and say to yourself, my time is valuable, and I don't want to waste my time or giving my time to somebody, okay, that is not right for me. For whatever reason it could be. That person could not be right for you for a lot of different reasons, all right? You guys might be fighting about family. You might be fighting about the fact that you want to get married or you want a serious commitment, and that person is just stalling you and making excuses and wasting your time, okay? There's a lot of people that are in relationships like that. They're staying with somebody, they're hanging on, all right? And after a couple of years or something, that person that they're hanging on for walks away and leaves them for somebody else, okay? So they've wasted their time, and now they're heartbroken because they didn't set their boundaries. They didn't set their boundaries in the beginning stages, okay? Because if you just let things go, time goes, all right? Now it's going to be harder to let go, all right? But whatever stage you're at and you feel that need that you have to let go, you have to understand something. There's a whole world out there of people, and things always evolve, okay? There's always new experiences and new things that come into your life. You just don't know what could happen in the world, all right? We didn't know that this pandemic was going to hit when it hit, okay? And we had to deal with that. We didn't know we would be doing Zoom dating, all right? And some people are meeting people on Zoom dating and some people are not, all right? Life is an experience, all right? You just never know. Every time you turn a corner, something else could happen. I had a friend of mine, she had a guy that she was talking to 3 years ago, And all of a sudden he contacted her, and now they're talking and they're getting to know each other, and they're not talking to other people. So you don't know what could happen in your life. So you can't hang on for comfort reasons, all right? You can't hang on thinking that that person is going to change, all right? Because a person's basic character is their basic character, all right? You have to be able to analyze that person, know the kind of person you're dealing with, know their track record, know how they've dealt with prior relationships, all right? To get a feel as to what kind of individual are you dealing with, all right? And if you feel that, yeah, you can deal with that person, but that person is not giving you their all right, then you're wasting your time and you have to let go. And sometimes you have to let go even if you love the person, all right? A lot of people love the person, but they understand that the relationship's not going to work and they have to let go, and it's all part of life, all right? It's better than staying with somebody and wasting your time. So when you get all confused and you get all upset and you're saying to yourself, this relationship's not going the way I want it to go, okay? And in today's world, it's very difficult, okay? Because of social media, all the options, a lot of people want to, especially when it comes to, females and males, a lot of males want to be single because there's so many options out there with the variety and the selection of social media. It's like, why buy the cow when you get the milk for free? All right. So it's twice as difficult. But if you're dealing with somebody like that, all right, then that's not somebody that you waste your time with. If somebody doesn't know what they want, then they're not for you, okay? Because you want somebody who knows what they want. You want somebody who knows they want to get to know you, all right? If they're uncertain or they're flaky, that's not somebody to be upset about. And sometimes it's hard to let go of somebody because it's not necessarily that we're in love with the person, but we're in love with the thought of being in love with somebody, okay? It's the whole feeling that you get, that whole dopamine feeling that you get of being in love with somebody, all right? And that's why a lot of people, they're addicted to it. They're addicted to that feeling of, oh, I'm in love. Oh, I have somebody, that comfort level, that security level. But you have to say to yourself, where am I going to be in 5 years with this person? That's how you have to think. Where am I going to be in 5 years with this person? Am I going to be living with this person? Is this person capable of committing to me and having a serious relationship with me? Okay, a lot of people hang on to people that aren't ready, okay, in hopes that they will be ready. And that's not a reason to hang on to somebody, all right? Because they should be looking at you like they don't want to lose you or take a chance of losing you. If they feel like they don't care because their freedom is more important to them, then they're not valuing you. And you don't want to force somebody to be in a long-term committed relationship with you, because once you're in that situation, it gets more difficult, all right? And the interest will, slowly diminish if they're not coming into it, really wanting to and not feeling pressured. So you have to say to yourself, you know what? Sometimes in life you have to do things that you don't want to do. That causes us, that uneasy feeling, all right? It's like people that have anxiety. They say in order to overcome your anxiety, you have to ride through it, okay? Which means sometimes you have to do things that make you feel uncomfortable, that might make you feel upset, but in the long term, it's helping you down the road to overcome those feelings of loneliness. As time goes on too, it does get easier, all right? As time goes on, it does get easier and you fill yourself up with other things. The key is to keep busy. That is the key. That's the key to a lot of things, okay? Like when a lot of people are depressed, The key is to keep busy, all right? And if you feel that low, then it's good to go talk to a mental health counselor as well, all right? So the thing is, don't be afraid to let go. Don't be afraid to be single. Most of the people are single that I've talked to, okay? Especially today, people are they're afraid to commit to somebody, all right? Because they're afraid of letting go of their freedom, the options. So now the guys love it. They have the upper hand, okay? Because they're getting the females with the friends with benefits that they don't want to commit. A lot of them don't want to commit to a relationship unless they're really ready, all right? And a lot of the females are going along with it, taking the attitude, well, I'm going to have my fun too, okay? But what's happening is the whole, relationship is breaking down. Relationships are breaking down to the point where there's a lot of single, unhappy people out there, all right? There's a lot of single, unhappy people out there. So they did a study and they said a lot of the young people are very unhappy, all right? They have the freedom to go with a lot of different people, but when they did the study, they were very unhappy. So where is it getting you? A quick fix, a quick, whatever, a sexual encounter or whatever? But where are you going to be in 5 years? That's what you have to say to yourself. Am I wasting my time, giving my time to the wrong people? All right. There are good people out there. It's just that, they're in a limited supply and it's much more difficult. You have to work harder and you have to not center so much on finding somebody, but you have to center on yourself. You have to center on building yourself up. Get into yourself. Get into your career. Get into your family. Get into your friends. Build yourself up. Be independent. Be a powerhouse. And then you'd be surprised how certain people come into your life, all right? And believe me, there's always new people that will come into your life at some point in your life. But the point is, you can't be afraid to let go, all right? I hope this helps you guys, all right? I just wanted to do a quick podcast about this because there are a lot of people that are breaking up in quarantine, all right? And, they're seeing the other side of the person they were dealing with, okay? So don't be afraid to let go of that person, because if it's for your overall well-being in the long term, we got to look long term where we want to be at, right? And we want to look at the relationship and not romanticize about it. We don't want to sit there and think about all the good in it. We want to also consider the bad that's happened, all right? And weigh it out and say to yourself, really, have I been looking at this relationship clearly, all right? If you have to let go of a relationship, then obviously it's not making you happy. It's not making you happy, and you have to be realistic. You can't just say, oh, I really miss that person, and I miss holding them and everything, and I miss the affection. But are you thinking about the other parts of that person? Are you thinking about how that person maybe disrespected you? Or that person really didn't value you enough to take it to the next level, okay, and be in a full relationship with you? Or did that person cross your boundaries and disappeared on you, okay? Are you looking at all those kind of points, all right? If you are letting go of somebody, there's a reason. It's like somebody came up to me and said, should I contact my ex from a couple years ago? And I said, your ex is your ex for a reason, okay? And you have to say to yourself, what are the reasons that I'm letting go? You have to look at the reasons that you're letting go of this person. Or if in the other case, if that person let go of you, all right? And you have to say to yourself, well, if they're letting go, okay, there is a break here. Okay, there's a break in our connection together, all right? We're not on the same page. So rather than hang on, all right, or even worse, never ever beg anybody, never ever chase anybody, because you lose your power, you lose your value, okay? All right, and then you're giving the other person the upper hand to be able to do what they want in the relationship, okay? Because they know that you're not going anywhere. So you never want to put yourself in a position where you're going to lose your power, all right? So these are all things you have to consider. And like I said, you have to think with your head, not with your emotions. Never make a decision based on your emotions. Never, ever. Okay, you guys? And sometimes when you're confused, it's always good to take a step back. When you're unsure, it's good to take a step back before you make a decision and think with a clear head before you make that decision. All right? And you have to say to yourself, if I'm feeling this way, if I'm feeling unhappy, there's got to be a reason why, okay? And is this something, or is this somebody that I will be happy with, or is this going to be the same thing over and over again? Am I going to be in the same position a year from now, 2 years from now, 5 years from now, and look back on my life and say, why did I waste all this time with this person when I could have been in another relationship with somebody that's fulfilling, maybe somebody that's treating me right, okay? This is, or not even if they're treating you right. Maybe you just have a better connection with that person. Maybe you're just more on the same page and want the same things in life, all right? So it goes into, that not settling, all right? Not settling, because like I said, the most important thing is your time, your life, okay? Time is valuable. You can't get back time. You can get back money. You can get back other things in your life, but you can't get back the time of your life, okay? So I hope that helps you. And remember, if you're going through a low point, nothing stays the same. It will change in time, okay? And I hope everybody's staying safe and, doing social distancing. And, just ride through it, okay? Like I said, everything will come in time. Don't be afraid to let go. Don't be afraid to be single, because there's so many people single today. It's so common, okay? There's nothing wrong with being single. As a matter of fact, it almost seems more strange to be in a relationship today, okay? Because so many people are, playing their options and being single. But I hope that helps you. If it did, please hit the subscribe button and share. Have a great night.